Coverage you can count on. Channel 3 Eyewitness News at noon.
Thank you for watching Eyewitness News at noon. I'm Latrice Curry. Our top story this hour, the weather. Right now, it's warm outside, actually pretty. The sun is shining, but that's expected to change. Meteorologist David Carnes is in the Storm Alert Center with the very latest. David, everyone wanting to know what they can expect when they head out tomorrow.
Yeah, Latrice, you're absolutely right. I think primarily the main threat is going to be rain changing over into light snowfall, and that freezing on untreated roads and making it fairly hazardous for folks traveling out. One thing I want to emphasize, this is not going to be a blizzard of 93. People are snowed. It's not going to be a major snow event. Maybe 1 to a couple of inches of rain in some spot, or snow, excuse me, in some spots. But the big deal, I think, for most people is going to be the hazardous road conditions that we're going to be facing as we see temperatures dropping like a rock. Temperatures will drop into the 20s during drive time, mixed with some of the rain and snow that has already fallen, and that will create some icy surfaces on untreated roads. So here is that front right now. I do want to go ahead and show you a Vipercast showing clouds building. We'll get to the low 50s today. Pretty mild day. It should be a pretty nice, even the mid 50s in and around Chattanooga. Clouds are going to continue to build, and then late tonight, maybe a few light rain showers. It'll be in the 40s at this time, and then we'll see temperatures dropping fairly quickly down into the mid 30s by 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you can see that changing slowly over into some light snow showers. But also on the roads, we're going to see some icy conditions developing as that colder air spills in along with this rain changing over into light snow. And it's in these spots, mainly east of 75, where we may get some of our heaviest amounts, where we could get more than a couple of inches. Otherwise, I think quite honestly, we're looking at maybe a half an inch to an inch along US 27 and up toward the Cumberland Plateau. So those are going to be the things that we're watching for. We'll have more coming up in just a moment, but again, hazardous road conditions, that's really going to be the issue that we're looking for tomorrow. By about 10 o'clock noon, we're going to see by 10 o'clock all of this well off to the east. In Chattanooga, it'll probably be over with by 8 or 9 o'clock, and then we'll see it continuing to drift. Still some light snow flurries moving up toward the Blue Ridge as late as noon, but we could still see ice on some untreated surfaces through the afternoon as temperatures remain cold. We'll have more coming up in just a moment, Latrice.
Alrighty, thank you so much, David, for that update. Well, crews across the Tennessee Valley are preparing for whatever is headed our way. Channel 3's Casey Freeman has been out all morning long with crews and joins us live. Casey, good afternoon. Are they prepared?
Good afternoon, Latrice. Yeah, crews have been out here just rotating back and forth in here at the TDOT station at the headquarters, just trying to get that salt, that brine mixture going on, treating some of these roads. And I'm just going to step aside so you can see what they're working with. As you can see there, they do have plenty of brine out here. They've had about almost maybe a dozen trucks come back and forth within the last couple of hours, just refilling that brine so that they can hit the roadways yet again. And over here, you can see plenty of the salt mixture that they do have on standby for crews when the event does happen. Talked to Jennifer Flynn earlier with TDOT, and she just says that they have plenty of salt here for people and crews to work with over the next couple of days. Now, I just want to let you know, if you do see any untreated roads or anything, if you are traveling tomorrow after the event does happen, you can contact a couple of the crews. You can contact TDOT, you can contact the city, and you can contact the county so that they can get crews out there. Now, it does depend where you are, so just check before you call so that you are reporting any untreated roads to the correct agency. We will have those numbers in the WRCB app a little bit later on today. Now, as you know, that crews have already been out for several hours today, and Jennifer Flynn says that crews will be out for the remainder of the day treating the roads with the brine mixture, and then they will be on standby across various parts of the Tennessee Valley with salt for tomorrow morning. We'll definitely keep you updated on the roads throughout the day and inside the WRCB app. But for now, live in Hamilton County, Casey Freeman, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Alrighty, Casey, thanks so much for that update. Well, the Tennessee Highway Patrol has issued a warning to drivers. After midnight tonight, all abandoned vehicles will be towed from all major roadways for safety reasons due to the possibility of inclement weather. Well, in advance of tomorrow's weather, several school systems have already closed. Bradley County Schools, Cleveland City Schools, and Polk County Schools have closed for tomorrow. Several other organizations have either closed or delayed for tomorrow. We have several places you can find the list in the WRCB app, the WRCB weather app, or at WRCBTV.com. Other news, an investigation underway after the body of a 16-year-old boy was found in the yard of a Walnut Avenue home in Dalton over the weekend. The body was discovered around 12:45 yesterday afternoon. At this time, the Whitfield County coroner says foul play is not suspected, but it's possible exposure to cold temperatures played a role in the child's death. He says the teen is from a surrounding county. The teen's body has been sent to the GBI crime lab for an autopsy. A name has not been released at this time while family is being notified. The man wanted for shooting 5 people, killing 4 of them in Rockmart, Georgia, has been arrested in Indiana. The GBI says Dalen Gamble will be extradited back to Georgia. The surviving shooting victim is still in the hospital at this time. Carbon monoxide forced 2 people out of their home yesterday. A Chattanooga Fire Department spokesperson says that the HVAC at their home on Citico Avenue appeared to be putting out excessive amounts of carbon monoxide. Now, the Chattanooga Fire Department says this can be prevented.
Make sure you service your heating and air units every year so that those are clean, filters are changed. That way it's efficient and burning efficiently and not producing CO or any other issues that we may have from a dirty unit.
Having carbon monoxide detectors in your home is also key to making sure your family stays safe. Happening now, a blood drive is underway in honor of a Chattanooga firefighter. Captain Shelley Thorne was injured in a motorcycle accident last July, leaving her paralyzed from the chest down. For every person who donates blood today, Blood Assurance will give $5 to help Thorne with her medical bills. She says she's humbled after 19 years of service that the community is stepping in to help.
It's hard for me to accept the help because I was always the helper, but in this condition, you need help. You really do.
Well, the blood drive goes on until 4 o'clock this afternoon in front of the Fire and Police Training Center. If you can't make it out today, First Tennessee Bank has Shelley's Benefit Fund, where you can donate anytime and help her out. Today, the IRS is set to begin its tax season, and with it comes some significant changes as the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act goes into effect. Changes include doubling the standard deduction to $12,000 for single taxpayers and $24,000 for joint filers, which helps married couples. If you have children, the child tax credit also doubles this year to $2,000 per qualifying child. We spoke with one tax expert who says although some aspects of the new tax laws may be helpful to some, people should pay close attention to their tax forms.
The tax rates have been lowered, so if people didn't plan ahead, and we did work with our clients last year to revise W-4s so that they weren't caught by having less withheld from their paychecks.
The IRS says it plans to process returns and issue refunds on schedule, but the full impact from the partial government shutdown remains unclear. So experts advise people to file sooner rather than later. With all this cold weather, you may be looking to plan a trip to a warmer climate. Well, travel websites can be helpful, but there are so many to choose from. After the break, Jamie Tucker will break down which ones are worth your time. Well, if the cold winter weather has gotten to you, it's a good time to start looking at summer vacation choices. But where do you find the best deals? Our consumer technology reporter Jamie Tucker compares the popular trip planning websites to find out.
There are a lot of travel websites out there. You've got Orbitz, you've got Expedia, you've got Priceline, you've got Travelocity. My question is one better than all the others? You get better prices somewhere. Well, I checked and here's what I found. I chose a Disney vacation, hotels in Orlando, Florida, leaving Saturday, June 8th, returning on the 14th. Now, first I used Travelocity and found over 4,200 suggestions. Travelocity and all of the travel sites filter hotels by price and customer ratings. For comparison's sake, I chose the top-rated Town Suites. I found the price at $159 a night at Travelocity and the same price at Expedia. Kayak had the hotel under a different name and was $130 a night. If you find a lower price, Travelocity offers to match it and refund the difference. And I found this interesting. Expedia owns a lot of its competition. Listen to this. Expedia owns Travelocity, Orbitz, Trivago, Hotwire.com, Hotels.com, several others. HomeAway, which, by the way, owns VRBO. So no matter which website you're using, you're probably dealing with the same company. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Another option, of course, is booking a home on Airbnb, which is growing in popularity with travelers. Coming up on Eyewitness News at noon, it's a big anniversary for Grundy County this week, number 175. And this week's 3 in Your Town, John Martin takes a brief look back on how Grundy County came to be and where they're headed next.
Grundy County is celebrating 175 years of existence on the Cumberland Plateau. Named for Tennessee Congressman, Senator, and U.S. Attorney General Felix Grundy, the Tennessee General Assembly established the county in 1844 from parts of Warren, Coffee, and later Marion counties.
If you take back before that, all of this was Cherokee Creek hunting grounds and ceremonial grounds. There were no whites in this area. The first treaty that allowed them in 1804. So this was the Wild West for a long time.
Long associated with the economic history of the county, coal was discovered in the area of present-day Tracy City in the 1840s, while some boys were digging out a groundhog from beneath a stump. After the Civil War, a new group of settlers came to the area, the Swiss. Population growth in Switzerland, combined with a lack of job opportunities, famine, and economic crisis, forced many Swiss people to emigrate in the 19th century.
If you're bankrupt, you either need more money or fewer people, right? So they got rid of people. And they would send these scouts out with the potential of buying land. And they would buy tracts, like here, they bought an area big enough for that they could build and have farming land and have a school and all the stuff that they needed up here. And Switzerland would have paid for that, and they would have paid for the people's passage, and they would have paid them enough to get started with tools and things.
The Historical Society has a dedicated group of people keeping the history alive here, and for the second time now, the group is requesting photographs from the community to help preserve their story. The history here in Grundy County is so incredibly rich. There are stories that come from here that have an international impact, stories that'll make you scratch your head and say, wait, what? But leaders aren't ready to rest on their laurels just yet. They are excited to write the county's next chapter.
Grundy County is blessed with beauty beyond our deserving. And so here in Grundy County, some of the initiatives that we're working toward is sharing that history and sharing this natural beauty with the folks outside of Grundy County.
Tourism could be the next big thing here. More than 20,000 acres of state park are located in Grundy County, nearly 90 miles of trail, a new off-highway vehicle park, and the new home of the Bluegrass Underground is found in Grundy.
And also with any successful rural economy, you have to have some degree of agriculture, and so we always support our farmers.
For 175 years now, the people of Grundy County have been resilient. And with that continued attitude, their hospitality, and the area's natural beauty, the future is bright for this jewel on the plateau.
John Martin with that report. Festivities for the anniversary take place tomorrow. For more information on that and the historic photograph entry, we have a link posted on our website. Alrighty, time now to turn to David Carnes in the Storm Alert Center. Everyone wondering about tomorrow. David.
Yeah, Latrice, I'm telling you, this is a very finesse weather system that's coming through with a lot of detail and a lot of variables playing together. So let's try to break it all down for you. Gorgeous today. We're sticking with that. Clouds, a few clouds, but some blue sky mixed in with it. The clouds are going to be in the increase as we move through the day. Right now up to 52 degrees, upper 40s and low 50s widespread. And it's starting to feel pretty good outside. It is going to be mild and pleasant today for the month of January. Light wintry mix on the way overnight. I think the biggest concern that I have personally is the potential for ice on the roads tomorrow. Now, while I don't think this is going to be a huge blizzard of 93, whatever, I do think we may see up to 1 or 2 inches of accumulation in some spots, maybe even a little bit higher. We'll show you that in a moment. Most folks in Chattanooga up toward the plateau, quarter of an inch to an inch of snow. Biggest deal is going to be the potential for some icy roads tomorrow through drive time and on into the latter part of the morning and even early afternoon. We still from the National Weather Service have a winter weather advisory in effect tonight through 4 p.m. Tuesday, winter storm watch until 10 p.m. Tuesday for North Georgia, and a winter storm warning west of Chattanooga, really over toward Franklin County and then down into DeKalb, Jackson County, Alabama until 1 p.m. on Tuesday. So here is the system continuing to progress eastward. As it does, clouds are going to build ahead of that. Taking a look at our Vipercast, you'll see that very clearly. These clouds just filling in as the storm system gets a little bit closer. By late tonight, might even add in a few light showers. We're talking light rain showers. Temperatures will be in the 40s at this point. And then as we move through the overnight into tomorrow morning, about 3, 4 o'clock, we'll start to drop down into the mid to upper 30s. That is going to allow for some of this to begin to transition into snowfall, and that will move eastward as that cool air continues to slide in. Now, as late as 6 o'clock in the morning, we're still looking at temperatures in the low to mid 30s. So even as late as 6 o'clock, I don't think we're going to have big problems with ice on the roads. After 6 o'clock, I'm not comfortable saying that we won't have any ice. After 6 o'clock, temperatures will be dropping down into the 20s, and that's when things could get really dicey for you. So if you're traveling out and about, especially after 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, then I would definitely, especially on untreated roads, boy, would I be careful. So that's going to be the case through 8. After about 8, 9 o'clock, all of whatever snow is out there will move out of Chattanooga. We're still going to see some snow showers up toward the Blue Ridge Mountain, maybe as late as noon. Really 10, 11 o'clock is when all of that will pass away, and then we'll have the potential for some ice on the roads as late as noon, maybe even early afternoon. But again, untreated surfaces may, in some of the higher elevations, have ice on them through the day tomorrow, even lingering into Wednesday morning. So that's the case for the potential for rain changing over to snow. Let's talk temperatures for just a moment. I highlighted a moment ago, but at 1 a.m. as we're seeing these light rain showers moving through, it'll be in the 40s, but you can see temperatures dropping. Still 6 a.m. we're still just above freezing in most spots. Dayton up into Altamont below freezing, so maybe we start to see a little bit of ice forming there. And then as we continue to move through the morning, this is 9 o'clock, we're down to 21, 24, 27. Everyone is below freezing, and that's where we could start to see some ice on some of the roadways here and there. Now let's talk snowfall amounts. I'm ramping down the snowfall amounts. Still looks like we could get a couple, maybe even up to 3 inches in this little swath along I-75 from Cleveland up into Athens. But in Chattanooga up toward the plateau, maybe a quarter of an inch to an inch along 27, and then maybe a half an inch to an inch up on the plateau and in northeast Alabama. Moving up into the Blue Ridge Mountains, about a quarter of an inch to an inch likely. And one reason we're changing the amounts is it depends exactly on when we have the temperature cooling down, when we have the moisture coming in, and I'm telling you, those are variables that are changing with every model update. So continue watching through the day. Biggest thing to look out for again tomorrow morning, though, is going to be the potential for ice on the roads as you're heading out on those untreated surfaces. We'll have more coming up in just a few moments. Right now, let's head back to Latrice.
All righty, thank you so much. And want to just mention, David Carroll just brought this in, but Walker County schools are closed tomorrow. Again, that is Walker County schools closed tomorrow. So that's in addition to Polk County, Bradley County, and Cleveland City schools. For all of the closings and delays, go to our website and also the WRCB app as well. All right, well, cleanup is underway in South Florida after a possible tornado touchdown last night. Heavy showers and high winds rolled through Miami-Dade and Broward counties. The winds were so intense they toppled over a truck and down trees. Officials say no injuries have been reported. Experts from the National Weather Service will assess the damage today and determine if in fact it was a tornado. Havana, Cuba, battered overnight by what appeared to be a deadly tornado as powerful winds and heavy rains downed power lines, causing a blackout. Cuba's president said the tornado killed 3 people and injured 174 others. Footage broadcast by state-run media showed the president with rescue workers beside a vehicle overturned by the storm and showed cars crushed by fallen lampposts. A local resident said one of Havana's boroughs looked like a horror movie and that windows in a 7-story hospital nearby had been sucked out of their frames by the power of the wind. Construction is finally underway in southwest Georgia 2 years after deadly tornado caused heavy damage. A local television station reports repair work started this week on roads, sidewalks, and a park in a community just outside of Albany. The damage was caused by tornadoes that devastated the area on January 22nd of 2017. 16 people were killed. Damage is estimated at $2 billion. Public Works officials say the repairs were delayed when 2 landowners refused to sell property the county needed for that project. Still to come on Eyewitness News at noon, we're going to take a look at what's trending, including a mishap at the awards ceremony at the Pro Bowl in Orlando. Stay with us.
Oh, welcome back. My goodness, the Screen Actors Guild Awards. Did you watch them?
I did not, but I'll see all the clips.
Too late to see all the clips, absolutely. Celebrated 25th anniversary last night, honoring the year's best performances in TV and movies.
Okay, but it is still good to know who won, though. And the big winner, the groundbreaking superhero film,
good movie,
Black Panther. Yeah, this was an excellent movie. The Marvel blockbuster took Best Film ensemble over rivals A Star is Born and Bohemian Rhapsody. Glenn Close won her second career SAG Award for Best Female Actor in The Wife, while Rami Malek won Best Lead Actor for his performance as Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. All right, so that's what happened at the SAGs last night. Well, like most All-Star games, then NFL's Pro Bowl isn't exactly a well-manufactured representation of the sport it celebrates, and apparently its trophy isn't either.
Yeah, during the post-game trophy ceremony, this is yesterday in Orlando. ESPN commentator Jason Witten was congratulating the winners. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Reached with one hand to lift the trophy from the top, and metal portion of the trophy was separated from its base. You know, they were so honored, so honored.
Oh, gosh.
They make $30 million a year.
And look at that trophy.
Can't, yeah, it's a crappy little tin plastic trophy.
So in other words, they did not spend a lot of money for that trophy.
No, no, no. That's okay.
Okay.
You know they were happy anyway.
They were happy.
What do they care?
Yeah, exactly. Probably Kansas City they're seeing accepted, probably wishing they were playing in the big game this upcoming week instead of the Pro Bowl, but oh well, at least they got that.
What game?
The Super Bowl instead of the, yeah.
Are we allowed to say, can we say Super Bowl?
Oh, well, the big game. We'll say the big game since it's not on our network, yeah. Yeah. All right, and before we go ahead on Eyewitness News at noon, you just have another closing. Tell us about.
This is Dade County. Dade County closed tomorrow. Dade County schools sleep in closed tomorrow in response to the potential for some ice on the roadways tomorrow.
Okay, so since the show started, we've had Dade and Walker added to the closed list. All right. Ahead on Eyewitness News at noon, a look at preparations for tomorrow's weather. David Carnes will be back to tell us all about that. Plus, a case of road rage is caught on camera, and Ben Bobbitt plays horse with the local athlete. Stay with us.
Coverage you can count on. Channel 3 Eyewitness News at noon.
Thank you for joining us for Eyewitness News at noon. I'm Latrice Curry. Enjoy the beautiful afternoon while you can. The sunshine is out there because tomorrow morning you're going to be waking up to colder temperatures, and also people wondering what else is headed our way. For the very latest on that, let's go to David Carnes in the Storm Alert Center. David.
Yeah, thank you, Latrice. Taking a look at temperatures right now, you would think, man, gorgeous weather, and it is going to be nice this afternoon. Clouds building, but still low 50s. We can certainly handle that. See if we're going to climb into the mid 50s in Chattanooga as we progress through the afternoon. We're also going to see clouds building ahead of a front that's moving in, and that front is going to bring us some dicey weather for the commute tomorrow. Let's take a look. Now, this is not going to be a huge snow event. This is, I would be more worried than excited about the potential for snow. The biggest worry I would have is from ice that could develop on some of the roadways as temperatures drop during our drive time tomorrow morning. So 10 o'clock tonight, we'll see a few light rain showers developing. It'll be in the 40s, mid to upper 30s about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning as we see in Chattanooga. Some of that rain beginning to change over into light snow showers. And then as we see some of that, some of those temperatures continuing to plunge, we may start to see some ice on some of the roadways as we move through the morning. After about 8, 9 o'clock, everything is out of Chattanooga. Still up in the Blue Ridge Mountains, but we should just have temperatures dropping down into the mid to upper 20s by about 9, 10 o'clock. o'clock, and that could produce some ice on some roadways on the plateau, in the Tennessee Valley, and ultimately up toward the Blue Ridge in North Georgia as well. So widespread untreated surfaces. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw some ice developing there. Through the day, might rebound temperatures a little bit, getting into the low to mid 30s tomorrow afternoon. So for tonight, just to give you an idea, it'll be in the mid 40s about 1 a.m. in the morning, and then as we move through, we'll drop down still just above freezing in most spots by 6 a.m. 20s though from Altamont up toward Dayton. So again, we could already start to see ice forming here, and then as we continue through drive time, dropping well into the 20s, we could see freezing on some surfaces as well in the valley. So keep an eye on that. We'll have more coming up for you in just a moment. Right now, for more headlines, we head back to Latrice.
Alrighty, thank you so much there, David. Well, crews across the state are preparing for tomorrow's weather, whatever is headed our way, as David continues to follow that. Well, Channel 3's Tanisha Cordell joins us now live from Bradley County with more on what's being done there. Tanisha.
Well, Latrice, Bradley County emergency management officials have met all morning long. You had school officials, you had hospital representatives, law enforcement officers. All of them were in that meeting as well. Now, they say they're preparing for possibly 3 to 4 days of below freezing conditions, and because of that, as you mentioned before, because of those road conditions and possible ice. Now, we have mentioned, if you followed us on Twitter and whatnot, Cleveland City and Bradley County schools all closed Tuesday, tomorrow, because of those road conditions and below freezing weather that they're predicting. Now, ahead of this too, you have a lot of people coming and offering services as well. We've had firefighters, they say, offering assistance to help nurses drive and get transported to the hospitals if they aren't able to make it because of the road conditions as well. Now, another interesting thing I learned is that Bradley County here, they have 400 tons of salt, but the thing is they have 750 miles of road. So because of that, they say they have to be smart in distributing that salt and prepping those roads.
Yes, it's important if somebody calls to get their roadway open. We want them to be safe. But it's also important to have the major roadways for everybody to get to those other roadways secondary first. So that's the plan.
So again, they're going to be treating the main roads, so your highways, your main arteries throughout the county, and then secondary as it goes. They're asking everyone to just be patient and prepare on your own as well. Have emergency kits available in your car, and just don't travel if you don't have to be out on the road. They're going to have another briefing at 4 o'clock just to continue keeping their eye out on the weather modules and whatnot. But for now, live in Bradley County, Tanisha Cordell, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Alrighty, thank you, Tanisha. Well, the Tennessee Highway Patrol has issued a warning to drivers. After midnight tonight, all abandoned vehicles will be towed from all major roadways for safety reasons due to the possibility of inclement weather. In advance of tomorrow's weather, whatever comes our way, several school systems have already closed. Bradley County schools, Cleveland City schools, and Polk County schools in Tennessee are closed tomorrow. In Georgia, Walker and Dade County schools are closed. Several other organizations have either closed or delayed for tomorrow. Also, we have several places that you can find the list: the WRCB app, the WRCB weather app, or WRCBTV.com. In other news, friends and family will join today for a celebration of life service for former Normal Park Museum magnet school teacher Bethany Sklar. Sklar died on Friday after she was seriously injured in a crash on Brainerd Road last Monday. The celebration of life will take place at Mitzvah Congregation on Macaulay Avenue at 4:30 this afternoon. Rabbi Craig Lewis will officiate. We have an update to a story we've been following since last week. The victim of a stabbing on Willie Way in Chattanooga has died. 60-year-old Sandra Cruz was stabbed multiple times Wednesday night. The suspect, Joanna Alder, is currently booked in the Hamilton County Jail and facing attempted first-degree murder charges. We'll continue to update you when we learn more. Well, a multi-state manhunt for a young man accused of killing his parents. That is a story we're going to continue to follow that as well. Congressman Chuck Fleischmann has been named as part of the Border Security Conference Committee. Now, he released a statement saying this in part. Here's what the congressman said: "It's a privilege to be named as a conference on the HJ Resolution 31 Conference Committee and to be tasked with putting forth a solution to remedy the ongoing crisis at our southern border." Well, firefighters in Brazil are carefully moving over treacherous mud in search of victims left by a dam collapse that buried 9 buildings and surrounding neighborhoods with iron and waste. Authorities say the death toll has risen to 58, with up to 300 people still missing. The slow speed of search efforts is due to the treacherous sea of reddish-brown mud that surged out when the mine dam breached Friday afternoon. It's up to 24 feet deep in some places. Efforts yesterday was suspended for 10 hours because of fears that a second mine dam was at risk of failing. Now to the wildest video you'll see all day. A shocking case of road rage caught on camera in Massachusetts. Police say this was the result of a minor accident on the busy Massachusetts Turnpike, but things escalated quickly, turning into a high-speed drama. NBC's Stephanie Gosk reports.
On the busy Mass Pike, a highway altercation escalating into one wild ride. An apparent case of road rage, leaving a man holding on for dear life in the middle of rush hour.
Just survival mode.
Authorities say the incident started Friday when 37-year-old Mark Fitzgerald and 65-year-old Richard Kamrowski got into a minor collision on Interstate 90 in Massachusetts. According to police, Kamrowski attempted to exchange paperwork with Fitzgerald, who remained in his SUV, but tempers flared.
He took my water bottle out of my car. He smashed my window.
Officers say Fitzgerald drove at Kamrowski, who jumped on the hood. Then Fitzgerald stepped on the gas, at times reaching speeds up to 70 miles an hour. Stunned motorists tried to keep their eyes on the road as Fitzgerald sped by, with Kamrowski clinging to the car.
He kept going fast, slow, tried to get me to slide off. I wasn't getting off the car.
3 miles later, a group of drivers teamed up to stop the SUV. One of them pulled out a gun, ordering Fitzgerald out of the car. The state troopers rushed to the scene. This morning, Fitzgerald faces multiple criminal charges, including assault with a dangerous weapon and negligent operation of a vehicle.
I gotta go to court.
Kamrowski is charged with disorderly conduct. Although an extreme example, road rage is something the vast majority of drivers experience. One 2016 study found nearly 80% of drivers expressed significant anger or aggression behind the wheel. But it rarely turns into this. This morning, both men prepare to face a judge after a wild ride that could have had deadly consequences.
Well, that was Stephanie Goss reporting there. NBC reached out to both men involved. The driver, Mark Fitzgerald, had no comment. Attempts to reach Richard Kamrowski, unsuccessful. Both men in court today arraigned on criminal charges. Well, other stories that we're following right now. Today marks 33 years since the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded just 73 seconds into its mission. Now, all 7 astronauts on board died, among them teacher Christina McAuliffe, who was to be the first civilian in space. The Cape Canaveral launch was the first from a brand new pad closer to the public viewing areas than other liftoff sites. The astronauts' family and millions of Americans watching on live television that when the world's worst space disaster problems with faulty O-rings that were on the spacecraft's solid fuel rocket boosters are blamed for that explosion. We're back after this. Old Man Winter continues his grip on parts of the Midwest. A hard-charging Clipper raced across central and southern Minnesota overnight. It dumped several inches of snow ahead of a polar air mass expected to deliver days of dangerous and possible record-setting cold this week. Snow-covered and icy roads in the metro area made for tough going early this morning, with the State Patrol responding to scores of spinouts and crashes before the heart of the rush hour kicked in. More than 200 plows worked all night clearing metro area highways and freeways, but lingering snow and winds blowing the fluffy snow back onto the roadways were leaving slippery spots. Okay, and everyone now wondering what we can expect here tomorrow for our conditions. Here's David Cards.
Not that.
Exactly. I was going to say
Not
nothing
bad.
like that, right?
But still, some pretty hazardous weather on the roads tomorrow morning. I do think we will see some ice developing on the roads. Mild and pleasant today, but then we'll have a light wintry mix combining with dropping temperatures that could create, again, some icy roads for you on Tuesday morning, especially after 6 a.m. That's when temperatures will be dropping down into the mid to upper 20s. Winter weather advisory for much of Tennessee, winter storm watch for North Georgia, winter storm warning west of our area. But again, all of that is in effect tonight through Tuesday in anticipation of a little bit of snow as well as a little bit of rain and a lot of cold temperatures settling in tomorrow morning. So here it is. Now, this is a very not a meteorological term, but I'll call it a weird scenario. This is one of those systems that as it moves through, it is a very delicate dance between when the moisture meets up with the dropping temperatures, how cold it is when it meets the moisture in a certain spot. So bottom line, every single update that we give you, we're going to tweak. I can promise you that, and we won't be done today. Through the rest of the day, we'll continue to do that. Here's our high-res radar. This is what we have going on right now. I have this line moving through. Ahead of it, we're going to see clouds building and warm air settling in. So right now, not bad. Upper 40s, low 50s. We'll keep climbing into the mid 50s before all is said and done. And then we'll have clouds building in this evening into late tonight. So mostly cloudy as you're heading home, and it should be a nice day. Roll down the window and enjoy. And then late tonight, we'll be in the low to mid 40s at about 10 a.m. and we'll start to see some light isolated rain showers developing and moving through. As you can see, nothing that widespread. And then as we move into the overnight hours, this is 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you can see still rain showers off to the east, but it'll be in the mid to upper 30s right around Chattanooga, and we'll start to see that changing over from rain into a wintry mix and then ultimately into some light snow showers. Along with that, the plunging temperatures on the plateau. By about 5, 6 in the morning, we'll start to create some icy conditions on the plateau, and then as temperatures continue to drop, now 6 o'clock, it'll still be about 33 degrees in Chattanooga. No freezing yet, but as we move past 7, 8, 9 o'clock, it drops down into the 20s, and we certainly could see some freezing on the roadways then in and around Chattanooga down into North Georgia. Now, we move on through the morning, and 10, 11 o'clock, still looking at maybe a few. Things will really start to taper off by this point, but still maybe a few light showers up around the Blue Ridge Mountains. And by noon, everything should be gone, but it's only going to get to the upper 20s, low 30s tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures may rebound a couple of degrees, but you may see some ice on some roads, especially in some of the higher elevations through the day today. Some of it may even linger into Wednesday morning. Depends on how well the roads are treated and exactly what that road temperature is going to be. So that is the bottom line. Tomorrow morning going to be pretty dicey, especially after 6 a.m. for most folks in the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures overnight look like this. We're talking about, again, mid 40s by 1 a.m., dropping down to the low 30s, but still just above freezing as late as 6 a.m. for most folks. Again, though, Dayton up into the Cumberland Plateau could start to see some ice forming as early as 5, 6 in the morning, and then we could start to see some ice forming on some of the roadways between 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock tomorrow morning for everyone else. So just be aware of that. We're going to have more coming up in just a few moments. Right now, we'll head back over to Latrice.
Alrighty, thank you so much there, David. Well, Heritage High School hasn't been open for that long, but it already has a new leading scorer in their girls basketball history. Senior Emily Wiley has been working for these moments her entire life. Channel 3 sports reporter Ben Bobick caught up with her in a game of horse. They chat about her basketball career, what drives her to play, and what it's going to take to put the Lady Generals over the top this season.
Another week, another baller. Emily Wiley, Heritage High School all-time leading scorer. We're going to put her to the test in a game of horse. You ready?
I'm ready.
Your house, your rules. Let's do it. Let's start this off by, you're the all-time leading scorer in school history. What does that mean to you?
It means that the work I've put in these past 6 years of playing basketball, will kind of come around for the team. Like, I've never really thought, oh, I have to get this record. It kind of just happened for me, so that's something I really appreciate.
Come on, Ben. Alfie, what is it about basketball that makes you love it?
Basketball, I think the thing about basketball is, like, no two plays are the same. You come down and anything can happen, and it's such a crazy game. You can be down 12 points and all of a sudden you're up 4. So, like, you always have to keep working at basketball, keep playing it.
What's it going to take for you to, or at least this team, to get over that hump, to do something that, you know, Heritage girls basketball has never done before?
I think what it's going to take is us staying true to ourselves and how we've been all season. We really have the capabilities to do things we've never done in our school program. So I think as long as we keep playing like we know how to and keep doing what we've been doing, we have all the opportunities and all the abilities we can to get farther in state than we ever have before, win another region tournament championship.
Who's your role model? Is it a professional player? You know, you're someone in your family?
In basketball, definitely. I've had a lot of great people I've played with and played for, but my dad's really been there the whole way through, even when I was struggling to do anything basketball-wise. He just didn't give up on me, and that's a big thing for me. I really appreciate not being given up on and people believing in me. And
the bane of my existence. Oh, that's a member's spot. That's a member's role there too. Face your fears. Well, another week, another loss. I guess that's why she's the all-time leading scorer, Emily Wiley. Check her out.
Thank you.
Ben Bobick with that report. Coming up on Eyewitness News at noon, a train station in Japan using optical illusions to cut down on injuries. We'll explain, and also another closing. Catoosa County is closed tomorrow. Russian police have found a painting that was stolen from Moscow's famed Museum of Russian Art over the weekend in broad daylight before unsuspecting visitors. The painting was stolen in front of confused visitors yesterday in one of the most brazen Russian art heists in recent memory. The surveillance footage shows a young man calmly walking up to the painting, stopping to take a look, and then taking it off the wall with other visitors looking on. The theft has raised questions about security at the Tretyakov Gallery, one of Russia's most renowned museums. Passengers at Tokyo's busy airport terminal station may have felt that their minds were playing tricks on them today. Take a look. From a distance, this sign looks like, well, is it coming out of the floor there? Approach the sign, and then it's kind of an optical illusion. It becomes clear. The railway introduced these signs to draw the attention of passengers and make the station safer. The signs point users to the elevator. There have been accidents involving suitcases on escalators there at the station. A late-night collision turns out to be a hoot after an owl gets stuck behind the grill of a car. A Utah man said he was heading home Saturday when he hit the large bird. He thought the animal died on impact, but later realized it was alive, breathing, and stuck behind the grill of his Ford Expedition. The great horned owl did not appear to have serious injuries, but it took major effort to remove the bird safely. The owl was taken to a rehab facility nearby. It's expected to be on the mend for the next few weeks. There are 7 new adorable cheetah cubs in Virginia, but you'll have to wait a couple of months to visit them. Look at that. It's a big boost for the captive cheetah population. The zoo says the cheetah population in the wild has dropped from 100,000 to 7,000, and it's the most endangered wildcat in Africa. The odds of a cheetah giving birth to septuplets, just 1%. The cubs are all in good health, and the Metro Richmond Zoo says their first appearance is set for sometime in March. Pretty animals there. When we come back, we're going to have one last look at your forecast. Stay tuned. All right, watching tomorrow closely.
Big time. Yeah, let's take a look outside right now. Not bad. 52 in Chattanooga, 53 in Cleveland. Oh, if it would just stay that way, right? It's not going to. Here's our Vipercast showing a few very light drizzles developing late tonight. Then overnight, temperatures will go from the 40s into the mid to upper 30s by about 3, 4 o'clock in Chattanooga. And then we'll continue to see the temperature dropping. Behind that, we're going to start to see some ice developing on some roadways right around 6 a.m., 5, 6 o'clock on the plateau. And then we'll start to see that colder air moving into the Tennessee Valley. Between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. we'll see temperatures dropping down into the 20s, so some areas of ice could easily develop on untreated roads tomorrow morning as well. After about 8, 9 o'clock, any snow that does fall will be east of Chattanooga, and we'll still see some snow showers as late as maybe 11 o'clock, maybe even a few flurries as late as noon up in the Blue Ridge Mountains. After noon, everything will be gone, but we still may have some areas of ice on the road. That's the snowfall amounts that we're looking at. Most folks less than an inch east of Chattanooga to maybe 2 to 3 inches.
All right, that's it for Eyewitness News at noon.